The buzz around Rachel Zegler's Snow White has gone from fairy tale to full-on Hollywood drama. Whispers are flying about a clash with Jack Black. And get this, some say it was so intense it brought the young actress to tears. Zegler was meant to be Disney's golden girl, the Snow White who'd headline the live-action remake of the movie that, I mean, come on, practically built the entire Disney kingdom. This should have been the role of a lifetime. The kind that actresses spend their whole careers dreaming about. But almost the second her casting was revealed, things started to go wrong. And I mean seriously wrong. Instead of celebrating the classic fairy tale, Zegler seemed to give interview after interview that just rubbed longtime fans the wrong way. She kept bringing up the prince. In the original movie, she called him a stalker. Then she mocked the classic version, proudly stating that this Snow White wouldn't need a man to rescue her.
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie. It's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And
there's no prince. Woman doesn't need a prince.
Oh, Lord.
Really? Okay, good luck back then.
And get this, the modern take was apparently going to ditch the prince completely and swap out the 7 dwarves for, well, something else entirely. These decisions immediately set off alarm bells for viewers. But what really made people's jaws drop was Zegler's seemingly sky-high confidence. Some might even say it came across as arrogance. She was actually quoted saying, "People will always come see me no matter what. And everything I do, people will wait in line to see." Ouch. Those words would come back to bite her. And trust me, it wasn't pretty. As the movie's release date got closer, something totally unexpected started to unfold. Then, Zegler started posting these videos of herself sitting all alone in completely empty movie theaters. And not just once, but again and again. She shared these images seemingly oblivious to how terrible it looked, as if all those empty seats weren't screaming a pretty clear message about how much interest there was in the movie. For those of us watching online, it was honestly awkward to see, like watching someone completely miss the giant red flags waving right in front of their face. It felt like witnessing someone in total denial about what was shaping up to be a very public flop. While all that was happening, something totally bizarre was going down on the other side of town. The Minecraft movie, yeah, the one that industry experts had pretty much written off as a joke, was absolutely crushing it at the box office. Critics were raving, fans were lining up around the block, and it was raking in serious cash. Get this, Minecraft reportedly made more money in just one weekend in the US than Snow White managed to scrape together globally after 3 whole weeks.
The Minecraft movie made $60 million on Saturday. Snow White made 2.
That's when the whispers about Jack Black started making the rounds. Black, you know, the voice of Kung Fu Panda and a big star in the Minecraft movie, supposedly had a direct conversation with Zegler during all this craziness. According to some sources behind the scenes, he questioned how she was dealing with the mounting negative reactions, especially her habit of just writing off all criticism as hate from online trolls. Do you really think calling your fans trolls is helping things? That's what Jack Black supposedly asked her. What happened next? Well, that depends on which rumor mill you're listening to. Some insiders claim Zegler got incredibly emotional right then and there. Others say she just stormed off the set, clearly not wanting to hear it. And a few whispers even suggest she broke down in tears in front of the Disney bigwigs. Whether or not she actually sought therapy after all this, like some reports suggest, is still up in the air. What do you guys think really went down? Let me know your theories in the comments below. The timing of this alleged confrontation seems pretty significant. Suddenly, the Snow White press tour went completely silent. Disney started releasing these really vague, corporate-speak statements about the whole project. And Zegler, who is usually all over social media, basically disappeared for a while. It definitely made people wonder if all the pressure had finally reached a breaking point behind the scenes. And it wasn't just the PR that seemed to be in chaos. The movie itself was reportedly a mess. Multiple sources inside the production are saying that major editing decisions were being made at the 11th hour, with entire scenes and storylines getting the chop just weeks before it was supposed to hit theaters. Test audiences who saw early cuts described the movie as all over the place, tonally, emotionally flat, and even a bit preachy. Apparently, it felt like watching 2 completely different movies that had somehow been forced together, and not in a way that worked at all. Even Disney's top guy, CEO Bob Iger, was reportedly getting seriously worried. After those terrible reports from the test screenings came in, he apparently started asking some really tough questions about how a project that was supposed to be a surefire hit with billion-dollar potential had gone so spectacularly wrong. What was meant to be a guaranteed success was now looking like a major flop in the making. The difference between the 2 movies couldn't have been more obvious. While Snow White apparently felt like a lecture disguised as entertainment, Minecraft was getting praised for just being fun, silly, and clever, without talking down to its audience. And crucially, it wasn't trying to shove some kind of message down everyone's throats. Movie theaters showing Minecraft were filled with kids dancing in the aisles, parents laughing along, and just genuine happiness. Exactly the kind of magic Disney used to create without even trying. That stark comparison reportedly hit Disney hard. Snow White was supposed to be this big big, empowering story, but instead, it apparently came across as just self-important. Even people who had defended Disney for years were starting to admit that something felt really wrong with this fairy tale remake. The movie that should have just reinforced Disney's place as a cultural powerhouse was instead raising some uncomfortable questions about whether the studio had lost its way and didn't really understand what audiences wanted anymore. So, what actually went down between Zegler and Black? The specifics are still pretty hazy. Some people are saying it was a really tense moment during a press junket. Others think it happened behind closed doors during some of those rumored reshoots. And then there's the group that claims there was no direct confrontation at all, just some icy messages being passed back and forth between their people. What's your gut feeling? Do you think there was a big showdown, or was it more behind-the-scenes drama? Let me know what you think in the comments. No matter exactly how it happened, the story blew up online. The idea of an experienced Hollywood actor calling out a newer star really resonated with people. It felt like it perfectly captured this bigger change happening in culture, this growing pushback against what a lot of people see as Hollywood increasingly focusing on pushing agendas in their storytelling.
Hey kids, how are you? You may be gay, lesbian, or bisexual. You've officially crossed the line, Disney.
These productions that feel more like they're trying to make a point rather than tell a good story have been losing their appeal with audiences for a while now. But this whole Zegler-Black situation really brought that underlying tension into the spotlight. Through it all, Zegler tried to keep up her public image. She was posting those perfectly filtered selfies, sharing all those inspirational quotes, and reposting supportive messages from fans. But you could definitely sense that the vibe had shifted in a big way. Her posts started to feel forced, like someone trying really hard to look like everything's fine while secretly dealing with a ton of pressure. And in today's online world, people are quick to spot that kind of disconnect. The reactions online were pretty much what you'd expect, split right down the middle. Some of her followers jumped in to offer support, pointing out the crazy high expectations women in Hollywood have to deal with, and how toxic fan backlash can be. But then you had the others who went straight for the mockery, turning her perceived arrogance into prime meme material.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird.
Her whole journey from being this buzzed about new star to becoming an internet punchline happened incredibly fast. With every new development, the drama just exploded across social media. Behind closed doors at Disney, you can bet there was some serious panic setting in. The PR team reportedly kicked things into high gear. Marketing budgets for Snow White were suddenly slashed and rerouted, and there were frantic orders for reshoots. Apparently, the executive meetings were filled with desperate brainstorming sessions, everyone trying to salvage what was rapidly turning into a very public and very expensive disaster. And the fact that the Minecraft movie was doing so incredibly well just made the whole situation even more brutal for Disney. While the Disney execs were in full-blown crisis mode, the Minecraft movie was just casually cruising past the $300 million mark worldwide.
Minecraft movie breaks box office record with $300 million global opening.
Snow White wasn't just flopping at the box office, it was experiencing what industry folks are calling a total implosion of expectations. This wasn't just about the movie not making enough money, it was about a fundamental break in the connection between Disney and the people who usually love their movies. A real hit to their credibility that could have some serious long-term effects on the studio's reputation. That rumored clash between Jack Black and Rachel Zegler really became a symbol of everything that had gone sideways with this whole project. It was like one voice of reason trying to cut through all the chaos, attempting to steer the production back on track while everyone else seemed determined to stick to a vision that was clearly losing touch with what audiences wanted. Some accounts paint Black as humiliating Zegler, while others suggest he simply told her a hard truth that no one else had the guts to say. The idea that sometimes, just sometimes, the audience actually has a point, and that dismissing every single critic as some kind of online troll isn't just bad PR. It's completely out of touch with reality. That tension between them became like a mirror, reflecting bigger issues not just with this one movie, but with the way Hollywood seems to be thinking right now. From movies that feel more like lectures than entertainment to messaging that completely misses the mark. The rumored clash between Zegler and Black felt like a showdown between two totally different ideas about what entertainment should even be. One vision seemed to be all about genuine heart and joy, the kind that makes you feel good. The other felt way too focused on how things looked and trying to make a statement. If those reports about Zegler having an emotional breakdown are true, it's not just about one actress reaching her breaking point. It could be a sign that Disney's whole strategy for these live live-action remakes is starting to fall apart. This was a business model that once seemed like a guaranteed win, but now it's showing some serious cracks. The warning lights have been blinking red for a while now. Smaller profits, audiences just not caring as much, critics tearing things apart. But Snow White might be the loudest alarm bell yet. What's becoming super clear is that fans aren't looking for nostalgia just wrapped up as a lecture. They don't want these beloved classics filtered through some kind of corporate checklist. They're craving authenticity, joy, and that special kind of magic. The very things that made these stories so timeless to begin with. And if even someone as well-liked and respected as Jack Black couldn't steer this Snow White ship back on course, then maybe it's time for Disney to take a long, hard look at their whole approach. Because this isn't just about one movie not doing well. It's about a legendary legacy that's starting to look a little shaky. Disney's magic wasn't created in boardrooms with focus groups and messaging strategies. It was built on pure emotion, a sense of wonder, and genuine heart.
It is non-political. The Minecraft movie does not try to beat you and box you about the ears with the message. It is just silly fun for kids, which is what a kids movie should be, whereas the Snow White model.
And when audiences feel like those key ingredients are missing, they don't just politely shrug it off. They respond with their wallets and their voices. They skip the big premieres. They create the savage memes. They call out anything that feels fake and inauthentic. Audiences aren't queuing up for moral lessons that feel like they're being forced down their throats. They're showing up to have a good time, for something that feels real. They want characters they can root for, stories they can get lost in, and worlds they actually want to visit again and again. They're searching for that special feeling when the screen lights up and, for a little while, everything else just disappears. Until Disney rediscovers how to create that kind of magic, the empty seats might just keep telling their own harsh fairy tale. No amount of famous old stories or clever marketing can fix what's fundamentally broken. Unless Disney makes some serious changes, and fast, Snow White might not just be remembered as a movie that didn't do well. It could go down as the pivotal moment when Disney's hugely successful run of remakes finally crashed. We're not just talking about bad reviews anymore. We're talking about a potential crisis for the company's carefully built reputation. A film that was supposed to breathe new life into Disney's legacy has instead become a symbol of a real disconnect with its fan base. This isn't just a creative mistake. For many, it feels like a betrayal, the kind that makes audiences lose faith in a studio. It's not hard to picture future Disney projects being met with serious doubt, trailers analyzed down to the millisecond, stars facing tough questions in interviews, and the whole story being picked apart before a single ticket even goes on sale. Snow White was meant to be this huge cultural event, but it might end up being remembered as the thing that started a bigger uprising among fans. So, was Jack Black the wake-up call that Disney desperately needed? Could this rumored confrontation be the moment that finally forces the studio to actually listen to the criticism it's been ignoring for years? Some people within the industry think that Black's rumored run-in with Zegler was a real turning point, like an internal rebellion against a system that seems to care more about pushing a message than creating actual magic. Or is this just another one of those Hollywood rumors that's been blown way out of proportion? A juicy story perfectly designed to get clicks and stir up controversy? It definitely wouldn't be the first time a tense moment between celebrities morphed into something legendary. In today's online world, even a quick glance or a few words can turn into a massive drama within hours. Either way, one thing's for sure, this story is far from over. With Snow White's performance being watched like a hawk and the internet analyzing every single detail and rumor, the pressure is sky high. Everyone involved, Zegler, Black, Disney itself, even CEO Bob Iger, are under a microscope right now. Whatever happens in the next few weeks could completely change how Hollywood handles its most precious stories in the future. This might just be the moment that forces the big studios to rethink their whole remake playbook and get back in touch with the magic that made these stories so beloved to begin with. Or, it could just be another blip on the radar, something that's quickly forgotten as the next big controversy takes over the internet. But the comparison between Snow White and Minecraft isn't just about which movie made more money. It's about two completely different ways of looking at entertainment. One movie reportedly tried to completely change a classic story, putting its message front and center, while the other just went all in on simple fun and creativity, no apologies needed. One movie seemed to be all about telling you what it wasn't, while the other was a celebration of everything it could be. And audiences have made their choice pretty obvious. They're picking fun over feeling like they're in a classroom, authenticity over being told what to think, and genuine heart over something that feels like homework. They're choosing movies that actually make them feel something real, rather than movies that just tell them what they should be thinking. And the irony of it all isn't lost on anyone. Here you have a movie based on a blocky video game with graphics that are intentionally super simple, and it's connecting with audiences on an emotional level in a way that Disney's big-budget, visually stunning fairy tale remake apparently just couldn't. It really shows that no matter how much fancy CGI you throw at something or how recognizable the brand is, it can never replace genuine heart. For Disney, the road ahead is definitely tough, but the direction seems pretty clear. They need to get back to that sense of wonder and magic that made these stories so enduring to begin with. They need to remember that lectures rarely inspire anyone, but stories that truly connect with people's emotions can actually change the world. And they need to understand that respecting their audience and their own history isn't just the right thing to do ethically. So, what do you think the future holds for Disney and these classic stories? Will they learn from the Snow White situation? Or is this just the beginning of a bigger shift in how these beloved tales are reimagined? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'm really curious to hear what you all think. And if you found this deep dive into the Snow White drama interesting, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes Hollywood stories and breakdowns. Thanks for watching.